Hi, Dr. Edwards. This is Lauren Frazier. Here's my audience for my speech. Smile and wave. Look happy. Yay. All right, and good timing. Okay. Many mornings that faculty, staff, and students drive to Tarleton State University, these are the kinds of things that they see. Rows and rows of cars, full parking lots, and they drive around endlessly searching for a parking space that sometimes does not exist. The main issue of the parking problem at Tarleton State is that their ratio of permits issued to spaces available is not good. They're issuing more permits than we have spaces actually available to park in. This leads to a lot of frustration, not just for the faculty, but also for the students. Every morning when we try to go to class, having to deal with this can be a big problem. With the construction of the new dorm, that took away a parking lot that many of us used to park in. We also have a record number of freshmen at Tarleton State this year, which just contributed to even more vehicles on campus. So now that we have briefly discussed the problem, why is it relevant to you? Parking is usually stressful, and being late to class can mean on missed out learning for the tuition and fees that we pay as students. So a couple possible solutions include things other than building new parking lots. That's what we're going to discuss today. The first I'd like to talk about is to not allow freshman residents to have vehicles on campus. As Ferrand said in 2010 in University Business Magazine, there is a big control on permits that we need to have at Tarleton State and at all universities. We can't just issue permits to anyone who wants one, otherwise, like at Tarleton State, we're going to have a parking problem because there's just simply not enough space. Another option we could try to implement is to find alternatives to personal vehicles. As Kenny said in 2004 in the Chronicle of Higher Education, 7 in 10 people own a vehicle. That's a lot. So we need to make TSU more bike-friendly and to encourage more people to walk or ride their bike to school when they live in those kinds of areas. As Kenny also said in 2004, the University of New Hampshire has what's called the CAT Cycle program, which allows student, faculty, and staff to rent free bikes, which would also reduce the number of vehicles we would have on campus. Another possible solution is to have carpool incentives. Kenny also said in 2004 that the University of Washington has free parking for people who carpool, whereas other people who do not carpool have to pay $192 a semester. That could really encourage a lot of people to carpool to prevent more vehicles from being in our parking lots. Another possible solution would be to raise the permit price. When I went to ODU in Norfolk, Virginia a year ago, the parking price was almost $300 a semester for commuters. I think it was the same for the residents as well. And that really motivated people to ride their bikes, take the bus, and do other things besides driving their vehicles to school. We could also make different lots, different prices. As Burr said in 2005 in the American School and University magazine, some schools make the more convenient lots more expensive, and the less convenient lots, for us, such as the ones out by the football fields, less expensive, which could also help with our parking issue. Lastly, the most interesting one that I found in my research was there was a school that did radio updates on the parking situation. In the article titled Creative Approach to Parking Woes from 2004's National On-Campus Report magazine, there was a school who raised the parking prices a little bit. They used that extra money to send to the local radio station, and every 10 minutes or so during the peak hours of school where everyone was trying to find a parking spot, they would do updates telling you which lots were full, which lots were opening, so that way you could know, hey, maybe I should ride my bike today, maybe I should walk today. Things like that, which could help lead to less stress for us as students. So now that you see some possible solutions to help with our problem, let's visualize the future. By using these mass transit systems, biking, and other things, we can also be good to the earth, not just good for our frustration and our parking issues. In the article titled Parking Spaces Outnumber Drivers 3 to 1 from 2007's Journal of Environmental Health, parking lots contribute to the urban heat effect, as you see here, which can raise temperatures of your city or town from 2 to 3 degrees. So the solution to our problem is not to build more parking lots, it's to reduce the amount of vehicles that we have on campus. Better parking and transport options and using these alternative transportations can lead to happier faculty, staff, and students, and a happier Earth. So now that we can see possibilities for our future, let's try and put that into action. There's many things that we could do to get the word out for these new parking options. We could make a petition, take it around campus, have our peers and classmates sign it, and take it to Dr. DeTavio to suggest these new options that could help us. We could also make a Facebook group to get the word out there. Or we could even write a blog and have our friends read it to learn more information like we've talked about today. So, by taking action, we can implement new parking solutions to create a happier Tarleton State and a happier Earth. Thank you. Show the audience. And the puppy. Oh, and I didn't show you my note cards at the beginning, but there's my note cards. Okay. Yay!